Welcome everyone to Popcorn and Gore. Going over my cult horror shelf. Just rearranged everything, got everything all organized. Be showing off some of my boutique labels of horror. Hope y'all guys sit back and grab some popcorn and check out this amazing collection. Secondary shelves of cult classics. Briefly done. I'm going to briefly go over some of them and how I organize the shelf. Let's get right into it, guys. Click that like button and subscribe. And let's get right into it. All right, guys. Welcome to Popcorn&GoreFlicks. We're going over some of my classic nostalgia horror. Guys, click that like button and subscribe if you like what I do. Got a bunch of selective cult horror flicks that I want to go over one by one and talk about why they're in my collection. And I want to show you guys exactly what I normally run as a double feature. So this will be my double feature wheel. So I hope y'all guys click that like button and subscribe and share. And we'll get right into it with my Popcorn and Gore Gothic and cult horror nostalgia of my double feature wheel. All right, first up, everybody knows that I'm a huge Night of the Living Dead fan. And I collect pretty much a lot of Night of the Living Dead. And it's one of the first films that I actually liked that inspired me to become a film director. And I'm going to show off some of my nostalgia of Night of the Living Dead. All right, so the first up, we will have Night of the Living Dead, the BluRay release. This is the 50th anniversary release. I'm a huge George Romero's fan. I got all of his movies. I remember the first time I got Day of the Dead on VHS. It was like the ultimate. And I believe we were in Earl's Video when I bought it. And the guy was like, because he knew I was a part of a collector. So this is my part 2 of my cult series shelf that I'm working on. First, I did exploitation. Y'all guys check out all the other films that I do have available already up on my channel. Thank y'all for my new subscribers. And feel free to click that like button and subscribe, guys, to Popcorn and Gore Flicks. So yeah, so we were in Earl's Video, and I rented Day of the Dead predominantly just about all the time. And the guy knew that I was a huge George Romero fan. So he asked me, he said, so what is it that draws you to George Romero? And I said, it's the way how he shoots, his film style, and his attention to detail, his adequate movements for punctuation. I mean, George Romero is just the ultimate when it comes to brandishing features. I mean, you know, if you look at how him and Carl started, I mean, just making commercials, and you know, way before they started Image 10, I mean, they just was like just two guys that had the passion to just do something about making a feature. And this is the reason why I like George Romero, and he's one of my starring film directors. And this is the reason why I direct my own film now called Uncharted, because of my inspiration and my nostalgia for George Romero. So the 50th anniversary edition. Next up, we have Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead. His take on how he pretty much wanted to direct. Even though he told the story that he was away during the war when they were filming Night of the Living Dead, and he just thought he missed it. And when he came back, he was like, hey, look, you guys are still interested? He said, yeah, sure. And he gave him a shot at directing his own movie, and which became a good feature too also. And I love Tony Todd. Rest in peace to Tony Todd. And I also love Patricia Tallman. They just did a fantastic rendition of how this all came about. And I think that throughout the whole time, he wasn't really worried about making it exactly like Night of the Living Dead. He was just worried about making a feature to suffice George Romero, which I thought that was a good way to do it, especially when somebody asks you to do something. And just because they gave you the right to do it, you don't kind of want to idolize them. You kind of want to just let them see that you can do something in your own way of directing. And I think this is where Tom Savini shined on doing this, because he brought his own vision to the screen and also was right up there with the 68 version. Night of the Living Dead. So, okay, this one is the Criterion Collection Edition Blu-ray, featuring all of the secondary Blu-rays for special features, bonus features, outtakes, Night of the New Bears, chapters, trailers, just about everything. They really unloaded on this feature for putting this collection together. So I will be adding a Criterion section as well too. Also, I do also have, like I said, a lot of films on my hard drive, but I kind of want to create a Criterion selection, because Criterion is another one of my feature boutique labels that I do have a lot of features from, but I want to add just certain things, because I'm not really trying to get everything. I'm only looking for stuff that I only like to collect. In the background is the poster that came out of that collection of Night of the Living Dead. I decided to frame it and put it into a nice, good frame. Going up, we have the entire Night of the Living Dead 24 by 36 poster. I decided to put it in a big gigantic frame and have it all done up. Pure nostalgia. As you can see, there's Marilyn Eastman. That's the rest of the cast there in the front. It's beautifully done with detail, and I'm pretty proud of it. Night of the Living Dead. All right, so next up we have Zombie 2-disc Ultimate Edition Blu-ray by Blue Underground, with the reversible artwork and slipcover. I'm a huge fan of these imports when it comes to this type of horror, because I remember the first time I seen Tisha Farrow, so rest in peace to Tisha Farrow. I was like blown away because of the attention to how they filmed it. And Zombie was one of my ones. I remember the first time I seen Zombie, aka what was it called? Butcher Baker. No, not Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker. I'm trying to remember the name of that one feature. But he makes house calls. But yeah, I forgot what it was. But yeah, that was another good feature too as well. And I rented both of those two on VHS. I'm trying to remember which store did I get them from, because I was like, what is this? A title of this thing, Zombie? I was like, oh, let me get this. He was like, oh, we got this other title too, which I'm trying to remember. The Butcher, aka trying to remember the name of it. But anyway, I had rented it, and what happened is that they had a VHS release of it, and the guy knew that I come frequently, like I always talk about, the same store, Earl's Video. And the thing with the difference between Earl Video and Blockbuster was that Blockbuster didn't really have all like this right here in my Blockbuster. I don't know about yours, but in my Blockbuster, they didn't have all this G-rated, X-rated stuff. They only had it where they only did family movies, like, you know, stuff with no gore, stuff like, I mean, they were just whack. So what I did was that we just started going over to Earl's, and they had all the real releases. And the guy was saying, well, you know, if you wait later on, they may start putting out stuff on VHS in your local retail stores like Ames, Caldor, stuff like that. Because this is where I was actually getting a lot of those from back in the day. And he was like, well, you may want to look out for those titles, and if you see them, you know, grab them. I was like, well, all right, cool, because I will do that. So I'll let y'all guys take a look at how this really came out. All right, and the name of that one was called Dr. Butcher, MD, Medical Deviant. And this is what they had together. And what it was is that they had it on the shelf. And I kept saying, wow, this is badass. Because if you look at how... Now, it wasn't embossed it wasn't embossed as this one was, with the worm coming out of the eye and all that kind of good stuff. But on the DVD, the Blu-ray version is more detailed, of course. But on the VHS copy, it still really looked kind of scary with the embossed front of the zombie. And I was like, oh, wow, I got to really check this out. So what I did was I rented it. And the guy was like, have you ever seen this other movie too as well? Because like I told the story before that he had it on Betamax and I wasn't really interested in Betamax. At the time I was only collecting VHS. And he was like, man, you might want to check this out. I was like, well, what's the name of this one on the tape? He was like, well, it's Faces of the Dead. You might want to check that out too. I was like, nah, I've seen it already. I'm not really interested. He said another guy came out because he knew that I was really into collecting. He's like, no, you might want to get pieces. And I ended up renting pieces. So what happened is that, so what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm doing my director's wheel of all the movies that I really collect on this particular shelf. This is my director's shelf of all the ones that I normally collect that I have already together. So getting back to Zombie, all this is together in the same conversation. Guys, click that like button and subscribe if you like what I do. And this will be my nostalgia tour. On this particular tour, we ain't going to talk about a bunch of raffling bullshit. We get right down deep into it of what nostalgia means to me. I said it on my last video about, guys, this is the reason why y'all should be collecting this way. Trying to cultivate new collectors and new people who are getting into nostalgia of what nostalgia means and the reason why you collect, not just because of a slipcover or because of the way it is. You collect because the video or the media itself means more than what the contents is, opposed to a damn slipcover or whatever it is. But now later on you could say, well, I'll upgrade that because of your pure nostalgia of that. That would make more sense to say it that way than to say, oh, I'm only collecting it for the slipcover because it looks badass on my shelf. This is the reason why now it's a lot of people out here that's giving misinformation and thinking that, leading other new collectors to believe that you have to collect it because of what they're collecting. And I think that's a stupid ass way to bring in new media. This is the reason why now probably the algorithm probably now is pretty much not really rolling predominantly a lot of my content, because if you look at the numbers I did have before, the numbers were dropping, which I don't really give a shit. You can check me out at Turf from the Basement if you really want to get into real nostalgia. This is where I post at predominantly anyway. So if you're on Facebook, check me out at Turf from the Basement and join me where the real stars are, where the real directors that follow me and the real artists in the movie that really are in the features that follow me every week. And I have more views over there than I do over here. So I could care less about what's going on. But my members were like, oh, just keep it going. And we love you. So that's the only reason why I'm still over here. Because exactly I was going to delete the channel, period. This is exactly what I was thinking about doing. And one guy reached out to me and told me, no, don't do it because I love your videos. The hell what they talking about? I love your videos. So I was like, okay. And this is the reason why, guys, like I say, where nostalgia comes in, where other people really take pride into understanding why people have a more of a collection and they understand why they collect. So this is the reason why I started to really get into wanting to make sure that that point was covered. And Zombie was one of the third feature films that I rented from Earl's when I was renting. So this is the same order that we're talking about now. There was no slipcovers available during the time, so let's just get rid of the damn slipcover out of the way because I don't want people to think this is a slipcover fucking review. This is the second one that I've rented other than Pieces, and then I came back and I rented some other features too as well. So I'm going to bring out all the features in a row of what ones I collected. So this one would be because I already did reviews on these already. This was, like I said, it's a 2-disc, has the bonus features on one disc, and it has the movie on the other disc. So it's pretty badass. And like I said, rest in peace to Tisha Farrell. And she was just gorgeous in this particular feature. And I have other features with her too available that I do also have. But Zombie was one of the ones that I do like. And keep in mind, I used to always keep this on the shelf with Night of the Living Dead. Everything that's in this lineup that I'm telling you about, guys, is the reason why I'm telling you for this. Because this is what nostalgia means to me. This is what, and why I could watch these films over and over and over and over again without getting tired of it. And it's a reason for that. It's because when you're doing a feature and when you're making a film, your heart and soul predominantly goes into it. And not everybody sees your vision. This is the reason why I started to get into collecting it as far as the directors in, and this is the reason why I created the director's shelf. Okay. So Zombie. And as the title goes, we're going to eat you. And this is also part of a Videos Nasty too as well. Predominantly everything on the shelf is predominantly a Video Nasty anyway, so they kind of banned it. But and there was others too as well that got banned too. Zombies, Holocaust, and I can just go down the line, all that kind of stuff. So see my other videos. I already talked about that a lot on my other videos. So yeah, Zombie. All right, so next up, this will be a Region 2. The Old Dark House. I did a review on this too as well on my channel. And I'm a huge fan of Boris Karloff and Gloria Stewart. And when I first saw this film, I was like, "Wow, this is nice." This is called Lemley's classic as well. There's also, like I said, it has the slipcover too as well with all of them on there. If you're interested, like in that, seeing that, I did a screenshot too as well. It's actually on my Instagram, so check me out at Popcorn and Gore on Instagram if you're on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, check me out at Terror from the Basement. This is where I upload predominantly. If you're looking for more media from me, you may want to go there. Okay? Because over here, I don't know what exactly the fuck is going on over here. But too many people that's fake. Too many people that are reviewing stuff that's fake. And this is a lot of people that's only just want to watch to see what you're doing and all this kind of other bullshit. I don't really have time for that. My job is to bring in new people who are collecting, who want to collect, and getting them in the sort of passion of why people like me and others collect. And I think this would be a good way to embark on that. All right, so we're going to get into the Old Dark House. And then there's also other features too as well that I do also have too as well on here. All right, and Charles Lotman is another one that stars in this too as well. And he also played, you know, in other features too from Universal. So this would be a combo pack. And this combo pack consists of the DVD and Blu-ray. Okay. This is one of my favorite features. Okay. On this particular shelf, you're going to see nothing but my favorite collectibles on this particular shelf. So I'm going to briefly go over the book. So guys, click that like button and subscribe if you like what I do. If you support nostalgia, then you support my channel. All right, so this is the booklet that comes with this, of course. And inside of the booklet, it has all kinds of production notes. It has everything that you need to know about the production itself. It talks a lot about the cast. And it also boasts a lot about having different prints of the posters from all around the world when they shot this film. And they also put in here some stage working production photos from the stage itself. And it was a beautiful set. I talked about this a lot on my, if you go back, guys, go back and watch my other video as far as my Mill Creek collection, all that kind of good stuff. I talked a lot about classic horror cinema and why I collect classic horror cinema and the reason why. And I also had a chart where as though I showed y'all guys what I was upgrading and what I was adding next, what features were coming in, because I was ordering from eBay, Amazon. I just was ordering everywhere that day. And I found a lot of good features. And like I said, I wanted to really get into the purpose of nostalgia by introducing new collectors to what nostalgia actually means and the reason why you should be able to be collecting. and the reason for your collecting. Because you can hear people all day talk and rave about slipcovers and the rest of the bullshit that makes absolutely no sense, putting stuff in ABC order, all this other stupid shit that they come up with, but nobody never really talks too much about why this installs them, why these features, the memories of these features, the excitement of the feature. I mean, all of it is just out the window, okay? So on this particular channel, I try to at least highlight what the nostalgia purposes mean of collecting. I don't care if it's a figure. I don't care if it's a booklet. I don't care if it's a double artwork case. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is the picture itself. This is the reason why, guys, I want y'all to go over to my other page on Facebook, Terror from the Basement, because on there I highlight these characters. And all these stars are on my page as followers. So it's a big difference between over here with haters and all kinds of bullshit over there where I got the real stars. So you're lucky, guys, because I was really just about to just pull this. And if it wasn't for a couple of fans of mine, they were like, no, please don't do that. All right, so we have Boris Karloff. I have a lot of his features. I talk a lot about that on my channel. You guys would know that if you stop fast forwarding videos and skipping over the bullshit. You would know about what this and what I'm talking about. All right, we have Boris Karloff again, and this time he has the makeup done to this side of the face, which took almost 8 hours to do that makeup. And as you can see over here, if you look at how his shadowing is, where the light comes from this side right here, mostly on this side of directing the light coming from this way, and it gives him more of that sinister look. Boris Karloff was always famous for having that lighting on him, and I get more into others too that also have that feature where the lighting sort of complements those facial expressions and stuff like that. All this is filmographic, and I want to kind of introduce you guys to not only just collecting media, but getting into filmographic too as well, getting into filming and creating your own features and creating your own trailers and stuff like that, and stop please out here following people who are just wanting to see what you're doing so that way they can go and make a video, because half these people out here don't really have content. Just watching your video, making up shit. Next thing you know, they got a collection tour and all this shit, the same shit that you done. This is weird as fuck. I talked a lot about this on my YouTube page and other videos as well. But other collectors kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. But Boris Karloff has that unique style to him, which I brought up in previous other videos too as well. So, all right, guys, what you see here before me, before I go back into the book, is part of those Mill Creek collections. And these horror classics, regardless of them not being in very good clarity, even though I have them all in 1080p anyway, but still, it's about the nostalgia part of this. And if you go back to my last videos, I talk a lot about this, because right now we're at the classic part of this, and all these guys on here that you see that they created all these features, these are part of nostalgic history. It's a total big different game changer. If it wasn't for these films and films like others, there would be none of this new bullshit that you see now on streaming, which sucks. This is why I'm not a streamer. I have movies. I don't have to go and wait for commercials just to let somebody else let you know what to watch. I can just go and just grab the shit and watch it. On my channel right now, on my Terror from the Basement channel, if you go to my Facebook page, I also have Black Sunday rolling by the talented and gorgeous gothic horror actress that you ever seen in your life. And I also do have Nightmare Castle and all the rest of them that I'm running to as well. But I kind of wanted to highlight what's these mean as far as nostalgia. Now, getting to Barbara Steele, I'm a huge fan of Barbara Steele right now. Helga Lene is a huge fan of my page. So guys, go and check out my Terror from the Basement site. You guys will see exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll get a better understanding, and she'll welcome you into with what my channel means. And she's a faithful follower, along with the rest of them. Screenwriters, directors, they're all there. So, so getting back into the book, we talked about briefly of that makeup job that he does have, and this is and the reason why I'm taking such a long sort of a interview on this particular feature is because this is my favorite feature, among others too as well. If y'all watch my last live or video, y'all would know that I'm a huge fan of Gloria Stewart. And I love that iconic shot right there, especially when he put his hand through the glass and tried to grab her through the glass. I thought that was very, very iconic. I'm a huge fan when it comes to the staging and the lighting, because that matters a lot. It helps convey to the viewers that not only adds to the atmosphere of the nostalgia part of the stage performance, but it also allows the stars to relax and get into character. This is one thing I like about Universal. During those times, they were known for building big sets, and I just love them for that. This iconic shot right here of him coming to the door, just looking out the door, was just one of the iconic shots I can never forget in my life. The same shot in Night of the Living Dead when Barbara is at the door and one of the zombies comes through the door and Barbara's just standing there. That's the same kind of shot. George Romero also took great attention of looking at the old ways of movies, shooting horror movies, and he incorporated that into that. And especially with him punctuating too as well, when he just cut away to a body on the ground, and then you hear Ben say, "Don't look at that." You know, he drags him off and stuff like that, and Barbara's just downstairs just losing it and all this kind of good stuff. It's just like the same features. This film also had all of this in there, with Gloria Stewart running from room to room. And this guy Morgan chasing her around the room. And the guy says, "There's a madman upstairs. He's a madman upstairs. And he's gonna get out. He's gonna get out. He's gonna get us all." And this entire shot right here, if you look at the way, I'm trying to get the glare off. If you look at the way how Gloria is looking at Karloff, her face alone says it. Like who the fuck is this guy? Like, I mean, she has this total way about her when she's in character. I mean, she's just, her face is just like almost like how Louise Brooks and others. I did a Greta Garbo tribute too as well. Y'all guys need to go and check out Turf in the Basement, because I don't hear this seem like a bunch of bullshit. All right, so looking at Karloff again with Gloria Stewart again, that same kind of iconic shot where she's looking at him like, who the fuck is this guy? Those facial expressions, she just had it where she was just so normal into going into her facial expressions. And it looks so believable. I wish I was the cameraman then to look through the lens and seeing her facial features. This is the reason why I love this booklet, because this booklet, it captures all that in time. Now, you don't get a booklet with the feature that came out. They have this too also on another release, and I forgot who it was by, but they don't have the booklet. This is the reason why I got this region too. So, I love this performance here. This is really, really badass. And as you can see it again, she's telling the story of the real monster who is locked in the room. And his name is Saul. You know Saul. If you watched this before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And like I said, it describes briefly of everything that's going on in this particular feature. And I like how Karloff is just having him in his arms, this like he's a rag doll. I mean, everybody just played that part. And then if you look at Charles, because he played as the Hunchback of Notre Dame too as well. He just was like an ultimate in this too as well. He says, "Well, looks like we all have to stay for dinner." And it just was up and down the steps, scared, running through the set, stomping through the set. I mean, I just love this film. And these are some of the production photos from this feature. This is all from my personal director's shelf of my cult and classic horror. These are some of the posters from around the world of when this feature first came out. If you watched my last one, I told y'all guys I'm going to be adding one of these posters to my wall. So right now I have no room, so I have to create room. And the one on this side right here is the one I'm going to add on my wall. I'm going to get it in 24 by 36. Have it featured on my wall promptly. As we close out, getting closer to the end of the book, we have more production posters as well as lobby cards. And as you can see, when they had announced that this was coming out, everybody flocked to see this. I'm a huge fan of movies from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I also go back to the 20s and silent pictures too as well. Especially I have a lot of pictures here, especially with what they call non-talkie pictures and some talkie pictures. I also have the first talkie pictures as well. I'm a huge fan of Lon Chaney Sr. and I'm a huge fan of Lon Chaney Jr. as well. I have a lot of features here. That's about all the features here. And this is what I want to highlight, guys, to show you guys what nostalgia means. You don't just get a Blu-ray and DVD and say, okay, I got a Blu-ray and a DVD. I mean, you really talk about why you love the feature. Talk about what you like about the feature. Bring out supporting notes and nostalgia memories of why and when you went to the movies to see if you was able to, or some kind of relics that you do have to help you reinforce nostalgia. I think these days the people just kind of lost it. Too busy worrying about what's the next guy's doing. And these are some of the prints too that they were having for us, the lobby posters. And I believe this will be the closing of the collector's edition book. And then we also have him on the back. So this is what nostalgia means to me. All right, so next up, we have Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Where do I begin with this feature? Everything on this particular shelf is just so damn nostalgic. I just can't really just get into it. I did a lot of reviews on why these features are just like the ultimate. When I remember the first time I seen this, it actually came on this internet channel that I was watching. I told the story too as well on my last one. If y'all guys really watch it, you understand. So I talked a lot about that. Anyway, for my new subscribers and my new people who are really trying to collect, this is for you guys. This is what nostalgia means. All right, or a representation of what nostalgia means. All right, so one of these days, I was really trying to figure out exactly where all these features were coming from, because actually I was on the internet. It was a while ago, several years ago. And I used to be this internet channel that used to give out free movies in my region, because I'm in the USA region. And they had this channel called Network TV. Network TV was one of the channels that was owned independently by a broadcasting company. Now, this particular broadcasting company had it where as though they get paid by the sponsors to just put out some media, but they didn't have a lot of movies, but they were trying to make it big on the internet, because this is where the internet was starting to become popular during these years. And what they did was they started just releasing several features. And one of them was called Sweet Baby, which has two names too as well. Sweet Baby Charlie. And then I think it's another name for it. They just call it, I'm trying to remember the name of it. They called him, but anyway, it was starring Archie Hall Jr. And it was called, it'll come to me in just a minute, because that was a lot of years ago. I'm trying to remember that feature. The Sadist, that's what it's called. Sadist. And that particular movie starring Archie Hall Jr., which is a fantastic artist. And he wasn't even at the time, a really seasoned actor. He just was a regular guy. He was young, and he really did a good job. So if you guys need to check that film out, it's called The Sadist, aka Sweet Baby Charlie, in other regions. But anyway, they had that film. They had How Awful by Alan, featuring Anthony Perkins, and they had a sci-fi film, two sci-fi films. One of them was called Cosmos War of the Robots, and one of them was called War of the Planets. And what they was doing, they were running just several features, because that's all they had at the time that they were running. They would run them over and over and over again because they didn't have a lot of movies. And then one time I decided to wait for the wheel to roll, because you could tell it was a wheel. And right after Cosmos War of the Robots went off, they played this feature, where they premiered this feature. And I was like, wow, this thing is nice. And I was like, I'm getting this one day. And then, so what happened was that I went to the video store, and the guys was like, well, yeah, we have it. Just came in. Blu-ray, or, I mean, he was like DVD or, not DVD. He said VHS or Betamax. I said, of course, VHS. And he used to always say that to me, because the reason why he said it to me, because he knew I hated Betamax. And he said, he used to always do that to get me pissed off. And the reason why is because he says, man, you really hate them, though. I said, look, they suck, man. They don't really have too much shit going on. And then we had this thing where every time I would rent something, we would talk about movies. He said, man, I see you directing your own movie one day. I said, you're right. I said, I have my own recording studio. Y'all guys need to check me out too. Also at Radioactive Sound Studios, I have my own production going on. Y'all guys will know that if you really take your time to look. See, some of you guys you only just watch what you see, and then that's it. You guys, you really need to do your homework and really get into this. This is the reason why I started my own channel over there on Facebook years ago, and I have a lot of good followers, and I'm pleased for that channel. Over here, Popcorn and Go is a subsidiary of Terror from the Basement, and I did this channel over here to try to enlighten people on why I collect and what's the purpose of nostalgia. And it was getting views all the way around. I don't know what the algorithm's going on. I don't know what kind of shit that's going on lately, but it seems to be like it's just like everybody's just kind of getting short when it comes to the algorithm. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, maybe because of that dickhead we have in office. All right, so we have children shouldn't play with dead things. Now, they do also have reversible artwork. And they do also have the cover inside too as well. Now, this cover that you see here on where my thumb is the movie poster as well, because they made up two different posters. And I believe there's a UK poster too that's kind of different from this. But this is one of the posters that I saw when that first came out. Now, this cover was not on the VHS cover. It was a different cover. That's why I noticed that it was a different one. I don't know if they changed that over the years, or they just went with this particular cover. This is a part of my director's shelf. And I think I like this particular cover, especially with Orville on the front. And Orville is one of the lead zombies, just as well as Bill Heinzman was one of the lead zombies in Night of the Living Dead. Like I say, a lot of my stuff that I'm going to be talking about here, conversation pieces, are going to be directly from Night of the Living Dead. You could tell how all these features stem from other features and stem from other features, because these are collector's edition features. These movies are 70s stuff. This is why this entire shelf is 60s, 70s. I just went for it. And when I saw that they were trying to go for this, it kind of like really drew me in. And then also, Tevye Michaels had his hand on the stage too, also helping them, directing with lighting, and told them to turn the light, because they had the lighting too bright. And he told them, no, turn that lighting off and make it dark. And I'm glad that they did, because if you look at it, the lighting was just fantastic. And in some areas you see the light, there is light, and some areas you don't see this light. So yeah, children shouldn't play with dead things. One of his greatest tricks yet. All right, guys, next up, because you know I'm a huge double fan wheel. We got a double Grindhouse Shock Show. This is a DVD. I just put it in a Blu-ray jacket. If y'all guys watch my collection tours, y'all would understand exactly how I did this. I'm not going to really go over that again, but I'm a huge fan of Carnival of Blood. And then I ended up renting The Undertaker and His Pals on VHS one day. And I fell in love with it ever since then. So I decided to just do a Grindhouse Double Shock Show Director's Cut Wheel. And this was just, I'm going to title this particular live as tutorial as, because these are all features that not only deserve to be highlighted, but they also are a part of my nostalgia when I first was growing up as a kid, when I first started collecting as a kid. I remember when we used to just grab popcorn and we should just, come home and we just sit back and we just turn on the TV and see what was on. Monster Vision, TNT, sometimes, and then first time we got cable hooked up, and then we started watching these other channels. And I remember I'm a huge fan of TCM. I have a huge nostalgia for Dark Noir Cinema, which I will be doing a video to also in April, my birthday month, next month. I'll be celebrating everybody from Elizabeth Taylor to Joan Crawford to Ida Lupino. I mean, just Marie Windsor. I mean, everybody, And then right now, if you go on Terror from the Basement on my YouTube page, on my Facebook page, I do a tribute to all of the artists that are on there, from Marlene Dietrich to just all the greats when it comes to classic cinema, early 20s cinema and stuff like that. So right now, like I said, we have Castle of Blood and The Undertaker and His Pals double feature Grindhouse. Like I said, and I'll go back to the story in just a second, because I wanted to highlight on my Turf from the Basement site on my Facebook page. Go over there. This is where I upload mostly media. So if you're over here and you don't really kind of want to check out all of what's going on, you go over there where the real media is, and all that kind of good stuff was over here. So it's just a bunch of bullshit. All right, so Carnival of Blood was one of those features, because I have a lot of features that are kind of like this, and I thought about doing a feature like this years ago before I even first saw this movie, because if y'all guys noticed my other videos, if you listened to what I was talking about before, that I used to work at a carnival, and my first job was putting together Ferris wheels and stuff like that, and I always wanted to do a horror scene at a carnival, and some of the guys was like, "Oh well, you're all over the place, man. We like, what do you want?" There's nothing I haven't really done yet. I have a huge sort of a trade, if you will, various amounts of trades. I'm a certified electrician, as you well know, if y'all guys haven't noticed already. I'm also I'm into a lot of stuff. Okay, I went to college for medical, so I do also have a study in molecular immunology. So I'm all over the place. I have a huge amount of skill sets. Okay, but my first love is music, for one, because I'm also I also have a recording studio, and I'm also a front of house engineer too as well. I go out and I rent myself out as tours, doing shows. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'm also a DJ. I do a lot of good stuff. But it all stems from collecting movies, because this is where all this started. This is the reason why, guys, I'm going all through this and making such a big intro for all of these, is because no matter what happened, it was all because of Night of the Living Dead. One movie started my whole different outlook on why I collect, why I wanted to become a film director, why I'm directing now my own featured film, Uncharted. And like I said, getting back to the story, that I used to work at a carnival, and I used to fill in doing sideshow stuff. So, I dress up like a clown, entertain the kids. I was just doing a lot of stuff when I wasn't really, because once we put together everything, the carnival was just basically running until we had to break everything down, which is the worst part, because y'all guys are really entertained and having a good time, but our really time starts when, our nightmare starts when we have to break the whole damn carnival down and pack everything up and move to the next location. That's really like a balls kick-ass sort of thing to do, and it's really tiresome to do this over and setting up and tearing it down, setting it up and tearing it down. But as time went on, I started to like it, because, like I said, this is the reason why I got into it. Most of the stuff I like to do, I get into it because I like to do it, not because it's a job. I do it because I love it. Collecting media to me is because I love it, not because of a damn slipcover, not because of some fucking 4K bullshit, not because somebody told me to do it. It's because I love the film first. It's because I want to collect the features. I collect only what I like. And this is what I want to bring forth y'all new subscribers out here and y'all new collectors of y'all just getting started on what to collect and stuff like that. Watch my other videos and it'll give you more of a outlook on why. So we have a double feature, Carnival of Blood and Undertaker and His Pals. Double shock show. Now, getting back to this carnival situation, it was one guy I was like, have you seen this movie called, because he actually had rented it. And I think it was Massacre or something. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Carnival Massacre or something like that. It was an old 80s movie. And he also recommended another movie too called Popcorn as well, which I did really check out. But I was like, no, I'm more interested in other stuff like that, you know. And then all of a sudden, Carnival of Blood came out, and I was done. And then The Undertaker and His Pals, which was just another thing too as well. It really, really took me there. So this is the reason why I had to take it from a DVD and put it into a Blu-ray jacket. And I did a good job too. I actually cut it out really nice. As you can see, it's not even half-assed. It's done precisely. Edges are nicely done. And you would really think that this is a Blu-ray. Let's look inside and show y'all even more. And as you can see, the proof is in the pudding. This is what nostalgia means. All right, guys, moving forward, another jacket that I've created too as well. This is a Madness collection with all the stuff. Trip with the Teacher, Madmen of Wando's, Satan's Slave, The Devil's Hand, Blood of Dracula's Castle, Nightmare of Wax, Terrorize, and Blood Manor. As you can see, this is all from the DVD. This is all Crown International's releases. And I cut it into the Blu-ray jacket. I also have Terror 2 separate, because that's what happened when I said, well, let me start breaking these things up. So what I did was I got Terror separately, Triple the Teacher separately, and stuff like that. And I enjoy all these features. So this is the reason why I kind of wanted to collect all these particular features. So we have the multi-pack Drive-In Cinema Classic. And this is all off my Director's Showcase shelf that I do have. And there we go. Moving forward, another jacket that I cut down to as well, Cannibal Girls, another feature too as well, starring Angelina Levy and Andrea Martin. This movie came out in the 70s, because you're going to see a lot of 70s stuff, because I love 70s stuff. So this whole entire shelf is better than badass 70s. So this is a DVD, but I just put it inside of a Blu-ray jacket. Cannibal Girls. All right, so next up we have Burial Ground, because I also do have a lot of stuff from Severin too as well, because I mentioned the last time when it comes to my boutique label, like I said, Earl, Severin, Vinegar, Olive Films, just about all of them I pretty much like, but Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, and Earl are my favorites. And this is the badass slipcover for Burial Ground. I actually like the Burial Ground, and this also has the reversible artwork feature. Let me go ahead on and take it inside. Because some slipcovers I do like. So, you know, and especially when it's done in taste. And this is beautifully done, because if you know this scene, you know what I'm talking about. Especially with that creepy little boy. All right, so this is the reversible artwork. I chose this one opposed to the other one. As you can see, there's the Blu-ray. Now this is the other one that's on the reverse opposite end of it. And that's what that looks like. Apologize for the lighting. So yeah, we have Burial Ground. Beautifully done. There's some of the scenes there too as well. I believe Andrea Blanchi directed this. It's a female director. And she's really badass too in directing. She directed a lot of stuff too as well. Burial Ground. All right, so next up we have Blackenstein. Dr. Stein will see you in his laboratory now. Severin release. I'm gonna get me a Severin shirt as well. Blackenstein. And this is not a reversible artwork, or this is not a combo pack. This is just a regular release of this on the inside, as you can see. Beautifully done. I love films like this. It reminds me of the old Boris Karloff films with called The Terror, when he used to walk up and down the steps and stuff like that. I believe it was kind of inspired by that. Blackenstein. Dr. Stein will see you in his laboratory now. Alright, so next up from Blue Underground, we have City of the Living Dead. The Living Dead. And this is also reversible artwork. Blu-ray. You can kind of turn it around if you want to, but it's not. No, it's not reversible. But you can turn it around if you wanted to. It's just reversible. You can turn it around, but you'll just have the feature. Sometimes you can just move things around too. Just get the logo of it, or have it where you just have the what's come to the front. So you can kind of turn this around if you wanted to. Because on some, I actually did turn it around. Some, especially some of the ones that wasn't reversible, I turned them around anyway, just to get the feature. And I believe I did that with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because that wasn't a reversible artwork. But I just turned it around anyway, and it looks badass because I wanted to shot of that girl, which I did told in my other videos. If y'all watched that video, y'all would know why I told the story on the reason why I collect that particular feature and the reason why I turned that jacket around. So we have City of the Living Dead. I have a lot of films from Lucio. I have a lot of films from the other directors too, as well, as we will mention as we go along. All right, so next up for my Blue Underground, because I try to keep them in order from boutique label, not ABC bullshit order, but order from boutique label, because they all go on the same shelf. We have Vampires. This is a very unusual film, but it's a very entertaining film, and I love this particular film. And it is a erotic horror classic, and they mean that for real. And I love the actors as well. They really did a good job on this. These two girls were sisters, and they go around getting into all kinds of stuff. I like how the guy says, "Oh look, my watch has stopped." He never done that before. And it was crazy because that was in his life when his watch stopped. I thought that was really badass. And you know, that gothic type of horror is what I like. This is the reason why everything kind of on this shelf became my favorite parts of nostalgia, because these directors were just badass when they just started turning these films out. And Vampires were just like the total ultimate. And then there's other features too that I also have from Gene Roland too. Also, that was some of the ones too as well that I do like, because I'm a huge fan of Gene Roland as well. But Vampires, a very unusual film, but very inspiring and very entertaining, and a must-have in your collection. Vampires. All right, so next up we have Anthropophagus, aka I love that featured film of him just standing eating guts. Every time I look at that, I'm like, oh wow. I want to get the sticker of this too also, because this is part of my Severn package. I'm gonna get that sticker and put it on my case too as well. But yeah, Anthropophagus, aka the Grim Reaper, aka check it out. It's beautifully done too as well. And you can see Cannibal Ferox too as well was another, and Stage Fright. I also do have Stage Fright. But getting back to Cannibal Ferox, that was another one too that was also a video nasty that was also banned too as well. I do also have that too. But this is not a reversible artwork, but this is just a regular release. Get inside, as you can see, with nothing done on the inside. And no, I'm not upgrading this to no stupid ass 4K or whatever the fuck's going on. This is already clear enough for me. Anthropophagus, aka the Grim Reaper. And rest in peace to Tisha Farrell. Okay, getting into the thick of it, we have Herschel Gordon Lewis, who's another one of my favorite directors too, as well, as well as Roger Corman and Tevye Michaels and all the rest of the directors. Double Wheel, I always run this every Halloween. I run this predominantly every time I get a chance to show off for my friends, and I try to introduce them to the world of Herschel Gordon Lewis and Roger Corman and Al Adamson as well. He's also one of my favorite directors too as well. Because if it wasn't for these directors, we wouldn't have these features that we have today. So we're going to go ahead on and get into this collection of Herschel, the godfather of gore. All right, so let's get into Blood Feast, because Blood Feast was up first. Okay, so this is beautifully done by Earl. If you know that, Earl is one of my favorite boutique labels as well. And this is also reversible artwork, and this is a combo pack. Okay? Combo pack means, for y'all new collectors or this news, because I've been getting a lot of people too also was asking me, combo packs mean that you have everything in one production. Okay? You have the Blu-ray, you have a DVD, and you have reversible artwork, and sometimes you may have a slipcover as well. All in one presentation. Combo, meaning that everything is kind of compact in one presentation. Okay, so you have your Blu-ray and you have your DVD. Okay, generally on the opposite side you will have the other facing of your artwork, of the reversible artwork. It depends on if you want to turn that to this particular artwork or leave it to the artwork that it comes with on the front of the jacket. Okay, it's up to you what you kind of want to show off on your collection. And it gives on the inside too as well a brief description of the movie and the contents of what it contains. On each disc, they has trailers, they has backstage commentary, bloopers, outstage takes, and some of production notes, and some they may do some interviews from the director itself, and along with some of their supporting actors. So we have Blood Feast, Herschel Gordon Lewis, classic. All right, so next up from the Herschel Gordon collection, we have The Wizard of Gore, The Amazing Montag, the Magician. I love Montag, and I told the story too, as well as how Montag got this role in playing the Amazing Montag, and he's not a magician, and Wiscom used to hated him because he really wasn't that good. And he used to argue with him on set like, oh, God. And they told the story and all that the other guy, because he just kept getting drunk and they couldn't use him. So they ended up getting this guy right here to play this particular part. And I think he did a good job with this. And he helped Herschel before in some of his other features too as well. So he said, well, let's just give him a call. And I'm glad he did, because I loved him when he played the Montag, because he really did a good job as well. Now there's another film too, not by Herschel, but that was running around the same time too, because it's called Blood-Sucking Freaks. You guys want to check that out too as well, which is also a good film too as well. On the same line of if you're into that gore and type of stuff like that. So this is also let's get inside of this amazing featurette. We have a card on the inside. And this is also reversible artwork. This tells a bunch of other features that they do have too as well. From Earl. And then they have, like I said before, the reversible artwork. And these are all Blu-rays now. And there it is, the Blu-ray right there, reversible artwork. I like the one artwork on the side because it looks good on my shelf the way I have it. So I decided to opt for that. This is going to be a part of the Earl sections that's going to be coming out. So you're going to see a lot of Earl. It's going to be all in order of boutique label from my shelf, but it's going to be not in ABC order. I believe that's just absolutely stupid. All right, so we have Wizard of Gore, The Amazing Montag, the Magician. You guys got to check it out. Herschel Gordon Lewis. All right, so next up from Earl, we also have Malatestis, Carnival of Blood. I always do this with a double feature too as well, with Carnival of Blood and Carnival of, let me bring out the other package. All right, so this will give y'all guys a better idea of what I'm talking about. This is what I mean by a ultimate 3-pack feature here. I normally would bring these together like this. I would do, and this is my watch, binge watch. I would do Carnival of Blood, Undertaker and His Pals, and I would follow that up with Malatesta's Carnival of Blood to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about when I do my triple features in here. Because I'm all about mostly double features, triple features, grindhouse when it comes to that. So this will be my watch list. So I will sit down and watch all 3 of these together. All right, so we have Carnival of Blood, Malatesta's Carnival of Blood, which is another one of my favorites. Because keep in mind, like I told y'all before earlier, I worked at a carnival. So anything involving this in a carnival, I'm kind of in on it. This is also reversible artwork. As you can see, the artwork that's on this particular one. Now you may have seen this artwork a lot on the DVD. I mean, on the VHS cover. Now this was done out first poster. The other one came out a little bit later. The one I have that's already selected on the front, which is this one. This is I don't know if Earl created this poster or not, but apparently they probably did. But this is their cover for this. But the inside one is the original for Carnival of Blood, Malatesta's Carnival of Blood. Okay. It's a beautifully done feature. All right, so next up we have Children of the Corn. I put all the Children of the Corn inside of here because I do have the other one too as well, but I put all the Children of the Corn in one thing because what happened was that I took them all out of the DVD. And this is the Blu-ray of the first Children of the Corn. So what I did was I put all the Children of the Corn inside of one massive case, giving me all of the Children of the Corns, okay? So I have them all here. If the camera could, you guys can see. All right, so I have them all in one. That way I can sit down and just watch all of the Children of the Corn, okay? Now this one would be, you see, and then there's the harvest, and there's the sacrifice, urban harvest, and then this is the one. This is the Blu-ray that comes with this right here, and it's also reversible artwork as well. So I decided to put, just like I said, put all the Children of the Corn together in one big collection. That way, when I grab the Children of the Corn, I have all the Children of the Corn. So that way everybody could be sacrificed unto he who walks behind the rows. All right, next up from Earl, we have Bloody Birthday, which is another one of my favorite films. It's everything it contains too as well. So we'll go inside. So it has reversible artwork too as well. I always run this every year with the children. So that's the original artwork here. Sorry about the glare, guys, but there's the original artwork, reversible. And these are all Blu-rays, by the way, because I don't want y'all guys to get mixed up. Because one minute I have DVD inside a Blu-ray case, and you can pretty much tell all the ones that are and aren't. Yeah, and this is Earl, beautifully done. That's the spine for y'all guys who love to see the spine work. So yeah, it's a beautifully done feature, and it's definitely one of those ones you definitely got to have. Bloody Birthday. Next up, I talk about this film a lot. Now we're getting into my Vinegar Syndrome collection. And this is a combo pack, reversible artwork, Terror. This was from that other feature, which I'll show y'all guys in a minute. Alright guys, so if you remember when I told you about this one right here is in this one right here. This right here is called Terror, right here. See it? Terror. So I started breaking some of these films up because this is more like a different collection. So what I did is I started taking some of them apart and just buying them individually, like Trip of the Teacher and Terror. So here's Terror here. And then I just went ahead and got it on the Severin, the Vinegar Syndrome combo pack. All right, so inside we have reversible artwork, of course, and this is a combo pack. Okay, so we have the DVD. We have the Blu-ray and we have the DVD. Okay, so this is on the opposite side. Always on the opposite side, you have your reversible artwork. Okay, for my new collectors, because I've been getting a lot of people asking me about my collection and some of the combo packs that I do have and why I collect those combo packs and for what reason. These are the questions that people should be asking, not just be telling people what to collect. You should be getting them to understand why they should have these films, not because to buy every fucking film, because you don't have to buy every fucking film. Buy what you like, guys out here. So don't listen to the idiots that try to get you to spend all your hard-earned money, because like I said, some of these features are really expensive. And for somebody who's just collecting, who doesn't have that much money, you shouldn't be telling them stupid shit that and all that, whatever. So yeah, we have Terror combo pack. All right, so next up from Vinegar Syndrome again. This is my Vinegar Syndrome section, boutique label. And we have The House on Tombstone Hill, which is another one of my favorites. I really love this damn film too as well. And this is a combo pack with reversible artwork, DVD, and Blu-ray. Okay. AKA Dead Dudes in a House. Kind of reminds me of the feature that I'm shooting now. I'm inside a mansion to myself, showing and shooting good features, such as these. The house that I'm in right now, recording, that house was built in 1857, and it has a huge story behind it. And I've been in the house now for almost 3 years recording and filming in that house for 3 years. It's a big mansion that sits on 700 acres of land. And I'm filming my movie called Uncharted. So yeah, The House on Tombstone Hill, out of my Vinegar Boutique label collection. There's the spine. Okay, there's some highlights of it. Okay. The House on Tombstone Hill. All right, guys, here's the children. Vinegar again. Spine. So I always run the children with Bloody Birthday together. So I will be doing it as a double wheel. I always do it as a double wheel. This is a combo pack. You have DVD, you have Blu-ray. And this is what the reversible artwork looks like. Okay. You may have seen that green image a lot on the VHS covers as well when it first came out. This film came out in 1980. So what I always do is I would do these as a double feature. Bloody Birthday and the children. Harry, come quick, we found the children. Harry the Hawk does it again. And plus a lot of these scenes in here remind me of Friday the 13th too as well. I believe they were going from that, and plus, this cover right here. I'm gonna also get this poster as well and put it on my wall too as well. I'm a huge fan of this movie. It's beautifully done. I can't say enough about this movie. Some highlights of it. As you can see, there's the children right there. I didn't get a chance to rent this though when I was collecting, and I found out about this years ago, of course, but I'm trying to think of when I was back then as a kid. This film came out in the 80s, so I was still in high school when this film came out. But I overlooked this then. But The Children was an all-time feature, and I fell in love with this. Reminds me of Friday the 13th every time I pop this in. All right, next up from Vinegar Syndrome, we have, there's the spine of it, Grandmother's House. Another one of my badass favorites. This film is beautifully done. And you can see also it's done in DTS too as well. Because I have 1000 watts Dolby DTS sound system in here. and it sounds badass on my DTS. I also have a 6-channel too as well, which means is that I can run 6 more speakers off of one channel. So I can run a total of 10 damn speakers off of one amplifier that puts out 1,000 watts of Dolby DTS, and that thing is badass. I had that since I graduated high school. That RCA theater system came out in the 90s. It is the last of its series. It's been discontinued for 15 years now, probably longer than that. And I still have it to this day, and it still works to this day, as well as my working VHS players. But I don't remember running this when I was going to Earl's Video. So that's why I say, guys, I had to create a director's and a sort of grindhouse shelf, horror grindhouse shelf for all the media that I end up running into later on, and just being inspired by as a film director. And Grandmother's House is one of them. Like I say, combo pack, reversible artwork, if I didn't mention before. This is part of my double shock show shelf that's newly been rearranged. Other shelves are coming in, and I'll be putting them all together. But we have Grandmother's House. It's one of their installation features. Beautiful, badass. And the set was beautiful too as well. Alright guys, moving on with my double grindhouse wheel. Guys, click that like button and subscribe if you like what I do. Feel free to share. Feel free to leave some comments at the bottom on what type of nostalgia films that you really was passionate about, and what you rented when you were at Earl's, and what did you buy when you were going to all the mom and pop video shops, or just ran into it by watching something off of cable, or just recording it on VHS tape. Let me know what you were interested in. All right, so we have a combo pack, MD Visual, and it's Don't Look in the Basement and Don't Open the Door. I always talk about this feature because I love these features. And you have the Blu-ray over here, and you have the DVD over here. And you have the poster. I like how they put the posters on the DVD too as well. And you have the upgradable poster for each, because this is the reason why too, which other people don't talk about. You have the poster for how the DVD looks on this side, and you have the poster of what the Blu-ray looks like on this particular side. When it came out on VHS, these were the same kind of posters. Now, it wouldn't be on the Blu-ray side, because the Blu-ray is more upscale years ago. We're talking about just only the DVD side. So if we take a look at the DVD side, you look at the poster of Don't Look in the Basement, and you look at the poster for Don't Open the Door. It should be the same on the VHS when you had bought it back in those days. And I'm a huge fan of this movie. Huge fan of both movies, because this is a double feature. So I try to do a lot of double features in here in my theater room, and I try to offer everything that I like, and I try to put forth my best directors, as you see, when it comes to these particular features. I try to make sure that I'm really getting all of the features sort of nailed down, if you will. Those popcorn buckets will be full the next time. I'm waiting on Amazon delivery for popcorn, so I'll be ordering more real big popcorn so I can fill those buckets up. It's going to be popcorn all over the floor, guys. My Night of the Living Dead, I love that feature. But yeah, getting back to this combo pack, this is what I actually like. And actually, it's going to be running today. Let's see what time it is right now. It's 1:30 in the morning. And we have a double feature going on right now, like I say, on my Turf in the Basement channel. So if you're on Facebook, check me out at Turf in the Basement. Subscribe to my channel and join my list of directors, screenwriters, and actors, and all sorts of people who are there. Everybody's, and I love them all. So guys, be a part of that, of nostalgia, and be a part of something that you could be passionate about. Join in with people who, well, try to surround yourself with people who are making films, people who are collecting films, people who are passionate about what they do. Try not to be sidebarred by a lot of people out here that just give out false information, don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and have no different direction other than talking about slipcovers and ABC order, which is dumb as fuck. Just try to get into people who really tell you about it and are passionate about it and have stories to tell about it. Not just because it looks good on their shelf. Combo. Grindhouse. Double feature. Check it out. I love this film. And it also has the trailers and everything else too as well. It's from the cult director, SF Brownrigg. He puts out a lot of good stuff. But you can count on this every time. And I can always binge watch this every time too. I never get tired of watching these features. All right, so next up, guys, we're moving right along. We also have off the same particular shelf, Kino Lorber. I don't have a lot of Kino Lorber stuff, but I do have only the ones that I like. So rest in peace to Robert Blossom. He also passed away. It was a couple of years ago, I believe. We have Deranged. This is not a combo pack, and it's not a versatile artwork. This is beautifully done by K&L Studios. It also has featurettes too, commentary. It also has some supporting information about the film and what it's inspired by, because this film is inspired by the old Ed Gein slaughter murders. And this is the closest you can get to the Ed Gein story. This guy plays as a cannibal. Robert Blossom does a really, really good job. I don't want to get into the script, but just notice that he's inspired by the Ed Gein murder. They start off telling you about commentary from that. And the town still to this day where this Ed Gein murders happened, they still don't want to talk about that still to this day. They kind of want to erase that from the history because everybody's been soiled, or that town's been soiled by this fiendish murder that happened. And this guy was a massive cannibal. Yeah, I mean, he was up there with the rest of the cannibals. But I love Robert Blossom. He really did portray a nice, good representation of the Ed Gein. So we have Deranged. All right, so moving forward, this came from a DVD collection, as you can see, DVD. What I did is I cut it down, and I made this into one big classic collection, Phantasm. I'm a huge fan of Phantasm. Inside, I have all of the Phantasms inside. I'm a huge fan of this movie. And not only of the movie, I'm a huge fan, too, of the director. And I'm a huge fan of Angus Grimm. So, we have Ravager up first, which is the last disc. And then we have 2, 1, 2. No, we have 5, 2, and on from here. And then we have the other ones here on this side. The entire collection, the entire Phantasm collection is in here. So these are the other ones as well, 3. Okay. And then we have 1 under 2. So this will be last. Ravager is last. So we have 2. Okay. And then we have part 1, which is the remastered version. Boy, you play a good game, boy. But the game is soon finished. Now you die. They go, Reg, could you meet us at Colton's in the Grove? Yeah, and Reg, you might want to bring your truck. All right. So, I'm a huge Friday 13th fan. I talked a lot about this too on my last one. I only like the first 4 collections of Friday 13th. I'm not a huge fan of all that other Friday 13th. I just only like the first one. So, what I did was I just created a jacket because this came from my DVD. And what I did is I just cut it down. And I made an Ultimate Friday the 13th collection in one damn whop. Actually, this one was released the other day. I believe it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? Or I believe it was yesterday that this part, the new beginning, was released. And we were celebrating that too. Also, guys, check me out at Turf in the Basement on my Facebook page if you get a chance. So we have all the first 4 Friday the 13th. Well, first series of Friday the 13th. So we have Uncut. Okay, we have part 2. And then we have the final chapter. We have 3D. And we have the new beginning. Okay, so these are the only ones that I like. I don't pretty much like the rest of the Friday 13th. They kind of suck. I just only like the first. So yeah, we have it, Friday 13th. I remember one part of nostalgia too as well. When I first rented this too at Earl's Video. And the guy had it in the background. I remember I seen the poster just like this on the front with the hockey mask and everything. And I remember that Dudley was in it. And I said, well, I got to get this one right. He said, I know exactly what you're talking about. So what he did is he gave it to me because somebody else had rented it. But that's one thing I like about them too. They always have more than one copy. So just because someone else rented it, they may have 2 and 3 extra copies too to give out to someone else. I remember it was one time that I couldn't get part 1 because somebody had already rented predominantly all the copies. So they were already out. But yeah, this one already had. They always keep more than one. So what they do is they run off more copies, or they order more copies, so that way a lot of people can rent them. And what happened is that the guy, which I told the story before, if you watch my channel, so guys, watch other videos that I do already have up already on my channel. Feel free to click that like button and subscribe to my channel. So what we was talking about is that me and the guy who was in the video store, he was like, you might want to look out for him because some of these media's going to be starting to come out. I said, yeah. And I told him about, I went to Ames and Kettles and started buying them on VHS. So all these right here I had on VHS years ago. I don't have them anymore, of course, because I lost them shortly after coming back from college. And I was totally upset when I really lost those VHS copies. And I also lost Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 as well, because that was a release that came out on Video Treasuries, I believe. And I lost both of them too. So guys, watch my other video of my surviving collection that I talk about all that on that collection tour of nostalgia. I believe it's my surviving VHS collection. I talk a lot about that, of all the films I've lost before. So guys, up next, we have the Slumber Party Massacre, Part 1. I also do have Part 2 on my hard drive. But I like Part 1. This Russ Dawn was a bastard. I mean, he was really a bastard. And I loved him for that because he was this total wild badass. And I like the fact that when he grabbed the girl, she came out to do the telephone installation and he grabbed her through inside of her truck and pulled her in her home damn truck. I thought that was really badass. And I like the fact that he had this over saw that he used to drill in people's skull. I thought he just was really badass. And I decided to do a double feature wheel. So what I did is I did Slumber Party Massacre and Sorority House Massacre together as a double wheel. So yeah, Slumber Party Massacre was one of the ones. And I also did rent this too from Earl's Video. And I remember lots of nostalgia of us staying up late just watching this feature. And I was like, wow, these girls are in for it, man. After this is gonna be, ain't gonna be no more girls left after this. And sure enough, it was just a weird thing that was going on. And like I say, Slumber Party Massacre, House on Sorority Row, these were the movies that were out then that were so popular, and you just had to just check them out. And they offer tons of nostalgia for your viewing purposes. And you just really had to check it out. And it was just like, if I say, this is the reason why I added all these features on this shelf, because this is my nostalgia shelf of all my famous directors for when it comes to cult horror. Slumber Party Massacre. You're not going to eat that guy's dead pizza. This is a screamer here. Sleepaway Camp. This is also a combo pack with reversible artwork as well. Everybody remembers renting this. I remember when I first got this as a rental. This is a combo DVD and Blu-ray. And this is also reversible artwork. Let me show off the artwork. So shout out to Felicia Rose. I didn't get a chance to see her because she came to, I believe it was HorrorCon, I believe. If I'm saying it right. Even HorrorCon. I never even went to any of those ones anyway. I just thought it was just a ripoff for other purposes. And I also do support 42nd Street Pete. So if you guys support 42nd Street Pete, too, also up on his channel too as well, here on YouTube. He talks a lot about his tours and him working with all the conventions and the shows and all. It's just not, nostalgia is just not there anymore. It just turned out to be bring me your wallet type of a situation. So anyway, we have combo pack, reversible artwork, sleepaway camp, needs no introduction. Meet me at the waterfront after the social. Sleepaway camp. All right, so get into that part of the nostalgia where I told y'all where I reversed the artwork, because this doesn't have reversible artwork. This is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What I did is I reversed that artwork, even when it wasn't a reversible artwork. And the reason why is, if you watch my last videos up on my channel, I told y'all the story why. And the reason why is because I was in love with this particular shot. And this is a low angle shot. This is when you want to make, well, let me explain this particular shot as a film director, but let's just go inside first before we do. So, okay, so we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm a huge fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love Leatherface. Okay. BluRay, okay. This is the original artwork. Okay. This you would see this on the front when you have this. See, so it's not really reversible. What I did is I reversed it, and here's the reason why I reversed it. And also have part 2 as well. It's because when you're going for this particular shot, you want to make the house appear to be big. So, because if you was to shoot this full on, which means that straight on, you would just see her walking into a house. It would be kind of dramatic and boring. So what you do is you get on the ground where the swing was, because she gets off the swing, and you want to shoot her from the waist down. This makes the house look bigger. This makes her look more suspenseful, because she's calling him and he's not answering. The reason why is because he already got killed. She already told him not to go in that house, and this is how you build suspense. But you also, at the same time, get a good shot. And once you're in frame means that you're going to line it all up, and you're going to follow her from the waist down all the way to the door. Okay, when she steps up on a step and all that. So if you guys seen this feature before, you guys would when you come to this particular shot, you know what I'm talking about. This is another thing about nostalgia that you get with me on my channel here at Popcorn and Gore. We talk about more of backstage. We talk about more director's cut, about me being a director and a film producer myself. I'm also the sound mixer, sound engineer. I'm everything on my particular feature. This is what he was going for when he wanted to take this particular angle, and he wanted to build that. And so I thought that this was an iconic shot. And I remember the first time when I saw this as a kid, I was like, oh wow, this don't look good. Even when he started to go down with the camera, I knew that, when she go in that door, Leatherface is gonna be right there for her ass. And as you can see, he grabs her, shuts the steel door, and takes her and puts her straight on the hook. And you guys know how badass that feature is, that how well powerful that was, just that scene itself. And all you hear is just her screaming. And you didn't even see the you didn't see the fact that the hook went through her chest. All you seen was him putting her on the hook. I believe he had to take that out, because I believe that they didn't want him to show the hook going into her. He just made a representation that that she's impaled because she's on the hook. And the next thing you know, you cut and you go through the shot of her putting her hand up on the hook, resembling that she's on the hook. So you don't really see the hook go through her. You just see him putting her on the hook, placing her on the hook. And I thought that was a very badass shot. I thought it was very, very powerful that he actually did that. And this is the reason why I took this as an iconic shot and decided to put this as the reversible artwork, even though it's not reversible artwork. But I wanted to make sure that this was on the front because I love this particular shot. So I wanted to be featured on their collection in this particular manner. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All right, so next up we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Here's the spine. There's the back. I'm a huge fan of this movie too as well. This is no artwork, reversible artwork. This is just the inside. This is a regular Blu-ray on the inside. I also do have the special features on a separate hard drive. I actually downloaded those as well. So Killer Clowns from Outer Space was one of my favorite films. I mean, I didn't go to the movies to see this, but and I didn't actually get a chance to buy this on VHS. But I also, this was like, all right, I'll just get it on Blu-ray when it comes out, and there it was. I am going to get the Steelbook though. And the reason why, because I like the collectible tins, and I'm gonna start a collectible steelbook shelf too. Also, this is the reason why I can't wait for the new shelves to come in, so that way I can have a new shelf of collectible tins. So I'll be getting this as a collectible tin. I will be getting what else is a collectible tin? I'm gonna be getting. I'm gonna be getting Weird Science as a collectible tin, and others. Maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 as a collectible tin. But we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. All right, moving forward, we have Slithers. Original release by Code Red. There's a spine as well. And this is not a reversible artwork, or it's not a combo pack as well. This is just the regular. I love Slithers. On as a double feature, I always double feature this up with, or double bill this with the Stuff and Alligator. So yeah, this is always what I normally have. So this is pretty badass. There's other features too that I also bring this up to with. It's called Chud. I didn't have Chud 2, Chud the Bud, but I had Chud 1 on VHS. I remember I rented it a long time ago. And I used to own that Chud on VHS. So I'll be getting it again on VHS, and I'll be putting on my VHS wheel, because I'm going to create a VHS shelf to also for them back to back. So we have Slithers. Why the radioactivity, my darling? All right, so I'm a huge fan of George Romero. Of course, y'all guys know that already, but I'm a huge fan of Creepshow. Creepshow 2 was my favorite. Old Chief Woodenhead. This is a RLJ release. There's the spine. And this is not a reversible artwork or combo pack. This is just a regular Blu-ray. And like I said, when this came out, like I said, we were in school and we used to sit back and we used to watch these tales of Creepshow. And I do also have Creepshow 1, 2. My mother has that. I have to go and pick that up from her. But I do also have that series 2 as well. And I'm a huge fan of everything by George Romero when it comes to his horror anthologies. And the next one will be a complete collection of Tales from the Dark Side. Also used to run this when I was a kid too as well. And I remember I loved doing this, watching this, because he told a lot of good tales. And my favorite one was Trick or Treat and Don't Open Till Christmas, I believe. And another one was, I can't remember the other name of the skit. Oh, Baker's Dozen. Man, those were some of the baddest skits. I can just go all day about all the skits on here. And then, like I said, the entire collection of this particular nostalgia when it comes to George A. Romero's classics. And then the other people took turns writing scripts too on here too. So it wasn't just George. There were others who had their hand in writing some of these scripts for these particular features. Okay. But yeah, we have, I would love this to see this gets a Blu-ray release or a better combo pack, or even a regular box set, even a better box set than what they have here. So I hope one day that they really do another one, maybe do something with all the artwork inside and all the chapters, menus, and make it fun, with all the stuff, And yeah, so George Romero's anthology. All right, so next up we have Demons 1 and Demons 2. Angela Stone, Another Party, won't you come? And I'm quite sure if we tried, we can get Jay Hart again. Reversible artwork. Combo pack. You get it all on this particular feature. Run, Judy, run. See, Judy, run. Amelia Kincaid's also on my page too as well. I'm a huge fan of her work too, also with her wildlife restoration of how she supports all the animals, and I'm a huge fan of that, of what she does as well. So we have Night of the Demons. This is also a combo pack, like I said before, and it's also a collector's edition. And then now we have to also Demons 2, which is also another one of my favorites too as well. Trick or treat, sucker. This is totally badass too, the way how it all worked out. And I can never get tired of watching both of these two features. It's like it's always badass. That's why I decided to double these two up and watch them together on one particular one horror wheel, if you will. And yeah, Night of the Demons 1 and Night of the Demons 2. It's totally badass. I have a lot of Rob Zombie stuff too, but I'm always was a favorite fan of his feature, House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. I also do have 3 from Hell too as well, because it would be more exploitation than anyway 3 from Hell. So I decided to just bring out the package anyway, since for sake. But because it crosses so many lines on this particular one, because it has horror elements as well, so why not? All right, because once you already have Devil's Rejects, you have to automatically come back to 3 from Hell. So shout out to and rest in peace to Sid Haig. All right, so we have this one. It's a 2-pack combo. This is not a reversible artwork. It's just the combo of between this feature and that feature. So it's a double feature more than a combo pack. Okay, so y'all guys need to understand that for all y'all new collectors out there, the difference between a combo pack and just a double feature wheel. Okay, all right, so I try to educate my new members. So you guys want to ask me a lot of questions on a lot of stuff that I do collect. And then we also have 3 from Hell, which didn't go over well on a lot of people because, you know, the sudden death of Sid Haig, and with him not being missing. Hell, they was even raising hell on this one when Baby and Firefly had to carry it on their own, and well, Otis and Baby had to carry it on their own with Otis being shot up, and that was already a exodus to setting it up for this one, in which Rob Zombie got a lot of flack for, because they were just saying that he was marketing off of the back of Sid Haig. But keep in mind, you guys got to understand, from a director standpoint, he was just trying to really basically fill in for a feature, because he had his main star, who was already involved in a feature starting from this one, pass away. So imagine how he felt. He had to kind of fill in the gaps as well, because you see, you have an audience that you have to still look out for, even though his death was sudden and untimely. But because Sid Haig was starring in a lot of films since the 50s on up. I mean, he was in countless amounts of films. So Sid Haig was a legend in the public's eyes. So when he departed, it really shattered this series, if you will. So we have the first one, House of Thousand Corpses, which was his only film that actually really did good, to tell you the truth, because I only loved just that feature. All the rest of the films kind of went to hell. The Devil's Rejects, it started to grow on me, because I'm like, okay, because every Halloween I always play this one. It seems like these two are more on the exploitation end. So I would just kind of like more horror and then this more exploitation. Okay? And some people will cross the genre, because some of the elements that are in this one and this one, like I say, share some elements of being horror. So it will classify as that, if you was to try to put them into a genre, if you will. All right, so moving on. Flesh of the Beast, or Flesh for the Beast, by the way. I love this film. This film is like all-time favorite, if you will. This is not a reversible artwork or a combo pack. This is just a regular Blu-ray. And I love the characters that are in this particular feature. I like how she said, "It's always so lonely here." And that thing again with the house. This is the same thing. Like I said, it always drives it home for me because, like I said, I'm filming too also, and I was looking at casting and almost doing the same as well as what they were doing because the script almost kind of goes that particular way. But the only thing is that they have their own way of what the house was cursed on, and I had my own script of what my particular house was cursed on. So I kind of totally agree with this, and this is one of the reasons why this will always remain a staple in my collection, and it's always made it to that particular shelf. As you can see, this is the shots right here. So this is an official Blu-ray. Okay. And you got a special purchase by Carolyn Monroe and Aldi Sambrell. I just love the characters. I mean, these three girls here, you know, and she says, "You had a taste, and now I want a taste." She said, "How does it feel to be the weak one, the victim? Flesh for the beast." I thought it was totally badass. And it's also unrated. All right, moving forward. Every Christmas, I always have Black Christmas too as well, which I should have brought out, but I'll bring it into another one. But I normally have it in a different situation as well. Because I normally have Black Christmas. And I normally just do a 3-pack. So let me go ahead and bring Black Christmas. All right, so every year I roll Silent Night, Deadly Night. Okay? And I also roll Silent Night, Bloody Night as well. Okay? And I also play another one too. Also, yeah, I just said it, Silent Night, Bloody Night. Yeah, so this is beautifully done as well. This is not a combo. I'm sorry, this is the combo pack. You have the Blu-ray and you have the DVD, and you also have the reversible artwork, is what I was going to say. Now, on the reversible artwork, for this one was on the box cover of the VHS when I was running this in the store, back in the time, well, in the video store when I was running this. Shortly after that, I wanted to know who was this guy playing a badass Santa, as I thought to myself as I was growing up. And I quickly got into the story of why Billy was being punished, why Billy was being tortured, and due to his hateful revenge and his misunderstanding for what Christmas meant, caused him to act the way he acted. And 9 times out of 10, when you have a revenge killing or revenge of a killer when you're creating a character, this is a backstage commentary now. When you have from a director standpoint, when you have a character that you're trying to do as a revenge or a sort of demented killer, you want to bring out the best in the killer. You want to have it where as though you show how much vengeance he has by the way how he kills, if you will. And you better make sure you do a damn good job when you do that. So it has to, the gore count has to be there. Everything has to be there. The sort of I don't give a fuck attitude has to be there. The movements of the character, everything has to be flawless. And I think this says it all. Part 2, Garbage Day. You see, there he is. You see how he just doesn't give a fuck. Now they went from another guy now, because this is not the same guy, but they just switched him over. Because see, poor little Billy on this one was he just seen his mother get killed by Santa. He figured, oh, fuck it. Santa must punish the motherfucker then, because he seen Santa fuck my mother up. So he got out of the car and he hauled ass, you see. So it was more of like a skid of Santa, if you will. And then they had to continue the character on, whereas the next one became a vigilante killer, you see. It ended up just taking on that particular situation. And then, so what you do is you throw in another character by introducing him as his brother. So he's seen his brother being punished by the stepmother there, you see. And exacted his revenge. And it became Garbage Day. So every year for Christmas, I run this entire package. And then we also have Black Christmas, which is I'm not going to upgrade to no fucking Blu-ray or no goddamn 4K. I'm happy with this one. This is all I need. Because you see, this is nostalgia for me because I'm more a DVD guy, really. Because there's still a lot of things that are on VHS that hasn't made it to DVD yet. So I like the nostalgia of keeping it just like this. Black Christmas. And if you open it up, because I believe it has a little tab. Yeah, it has a little tab to the side too as well. And when you open it all up, I had another jacket in here. I always kept this in here because what happened was I used to transport this back and forwards from my friend's house to back in his lab. I used to have a little cars where I used to put all of these in back in the day. And I had them all in this little big DVD holder back in the day. But then I since changed that collection and putting them all back into the jackets. Because during that particular time, I didn't want my jacket to be messed up. So I decided to just take them out and put them back on the shelf. And that was way before I got those shelves. So there you have it right here, the original DVD. And the original reason why we talk nostalgia and we go through the purpose of having things for the purpose of nostalgia when we talk nostalgia. Now, my next video will be the DVD sections of the cult horror. And the reason why I had to bring this out is because when we talk in Christmas, I normally bring this out for the entire Christmas wheel. Punish! Alright guys, moving forward. We're getting down to the thick of it. This is my Gene Rowland collection. Now, I will be ordering some more from Gene Rowland too as well, because the reason why I had to stop is because I was ordering for more cult horror, like Switchblade Sisters, Angel. I had ordered those, so I had to go switch back and forth because I was doing two different shelves at the same time. During this particular time, as I was ordering these, I was doing a cult 70s sleazy trash cinema shelf, which is the video I already done before. So guys, click that like button and subscribe. Watch all the videos I already have up already. And feel free to leave me some comments on what nostalgia means to you and what your memories are for collecting back during those particular times when you were collecting, and what sort of brought you to represent your collection in certain ways, meaning how you put things on the shelf, what you put on the shelf first, how you face them, anything along those lines of how you organize is what you could drop down in the comments. All right, so we have Gene Rowland. Now, the next one I'll be getting is Living Dead Girl, and I will be getting what's it? Living Dead Girl, the Grapes of Death, and it's another one too also. The Demon Addicts, I believe. I will be ordering that too as well. But these so far are my favorite ones. Requiem for a Vampire. I absolutely love this particular feature. And the next one as well, Shiver of a Vampire, is my ultimate too as well. It's also, both of these are put out through Redemption. And they also offer, because I don't want to go into it because sometimes they have, different graphic stuff, but they also have the booklet, and a lot of stuff is inside the booklet that describes a lot of Gene Rowland's work. They also describe other features that Gene Rowland does have. And they talk a lot about when it comes to gothic horror, exploitation horror, if you will, cult exploitation horror. Gene Rowland is my ultimate director, and I love a lot of his work. I love his camera movements. I love just the way how he just does his work. And I think that Gene Rowland is just so badass, and I could just sit and watch him for the rest of my damn life. All right, so we have the same thing again on the next one too as well, with the gothic artwork. And you notice how his artwork represents the collection itself with its oil painting style, gothic boss detailing in it. This is how you have a collection, you see? And it also describes the same thing I've said before about his artwork and featurette and all other bonus features that he does have, special features, trailers, other trailers of other films, if you will. All these are featured in the Gene Rowland package. Shiver for a Vampire, Shiver of the Vampire, and a Requiem for a Vampire. Okay? Gene Rowland by Redemption. All right, guys, last but not least, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Where can I begin on Bram Stoker? I told a lot about this, and I'll hold here for the last particular shot. This is not a combo pack. This is just a Blu-ray, just with no reverse artwork. I love the feature of him as the vampire there. I'm a huge fan of his work, and Winona Ryder too as well, because I actually loved her too when she played in this particular one. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do one nostalgia memory treat before I go ahead and get up off here. Guys, click that like button and subscribe. Thank you for checking out Turf from the Basement, if you will, on my Facebook channel. But here on Popcorn and Gore, feel free to look at all the other medias that I do already have up already on my channel. I'm hopefully trying to get back into putting out some more content due to thanks to the people who were saying, oh, don't please delete this channel. Because like I said, I was going to go ahead and delete this channel because I have a real main channel already on my Facebook channel. So I really don't need to be over here. Like I said, just trying to be nice and put out more media over here, but you guys are on the ultimate fuckery, and I don't really participate in that kind of shit. And my thing is, if you're going to support. If you don't, take yourself into another channel. And I don't know whether it's the algorithm bullshit or just people just hating. Everything is just wow these days, and I really don't have time for that. This is the reason why I'm thank God that I have my Facebook channel, Turf from the Basement. And I have tons of fans and supporters over there, actors, directors, screenwriters. They all support, and they show their love effusively. So let me go ahead on and say this last before I get up off here. The reason why I have this feature, I went to the movies to see this. And I told this feature before, if y'all guys know, because y'all watched my last live, so y'all don't really know too much of shit. But for my new members, I want to leave you with one more last nostalgia memory. And it was several years ago, I went to the movies to see this. And the movie is so long, I fell asleep. I fell asleep in the damn theater. And when I woke up, everybody was gone. The lights was out. The screen was out. And I woke up and in a panic mode, and I looked around and I didn't see nobody in the theater. I'm shocked that they let me sleep in the damn theater. I looked around, I got up, and I ran for the door. Guys, the door was locked. So I had to press it again, and then it came open. And then I come flying out into the concession stand area. Everybody in the concession stand breaking down the concession stand. The popcorn was gone. Everything was just put away. And they looking at me like, you still here? I said, guys, I was locked out. Did nobody see me? Did nobody wake me up? Guys, if they didn't saw me, if I didn't come out, guys, I would have spent the night in the theaters going to see Bram Stoker's Dracula. I missed the bus. And this was one nightmare after another nightmare, because when I went outside, but first of all, I'm still in the theater. They had to let me out. The security guard had to let me out. Everybody had went home. It was only 2 people working to break down the concession stand. They had to put the food away. Thank God. Because if it wasn't for that, they would have left, and I'd have been trapped in the theater going to see Bram Stoker's Dracula. I must have told this story so much that it was just so funny. I told a couple of guys at the video store about this whole entire escapade that had happened, and they were like, man, you really into movies. I'm like, dude, you guys don't understand. And it was so weird because it was kind of scary, because what if I never woke up and I just kept on sleeping, and I would have been in the theater since until the next day. So every time I talk about that, I just find it mighty funny that, this movie was so long, and it didn't make it any worse because I just got off work, and I decided, and my thing is that I always like to go see late features. And the reason why I like to go see late features is because that I had time to actually watch the feature, opposed to early in the daytime. I didn't have time to see such a long feature. This feature is a very long feature. If you look at the running time of this feature, let's see if we can zoom in on the running time of this feature. So it came out in 2001. Now let's see how long this feature is. Okay, you see it up there? You see it? You see how long that feature is? Okay. And my ass was asleep in the damn place. So like I said, the horror doesn't stop there. So now they were like looking at me like I was crazy. And I just never forget it. Just waking up and lights off, screen off, aisles clean. They even cleaned up. That's the thing about that was so funny because they even cleaned up. I can tell they cleaned up because there was some popcorn on the floor when I first came in the theater. So obviously they was cleaning up. Somebody probably was like, yeah, I'm just gonna let him sleep and just spend the night in the drive. I'm like, wow, this is really fucking weird. This is fucking weird. And then, okay, so I get out. So they let me out. And then I go outside and then all the buses were gone. So then I had to figure out how I'm gonna get home from seeing Bram Stoker's Dracula. And guys, the next bus was coming at 4:00 in the morning. I had to literally walk 3.5 miles home after seeing Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is how much this film means to me, that I tell that story so much that a lot of people sort of look at me like, that's an amazing story to tell. And you tell it in such detail, and it just cringes the imagination of how this would had happened. So yeah, guys, and it's more than that. So feel free to click that like button and subscribe, guys, and feel free to take another trip down nostalgia with me and get into movies and get into the film of collecting, or the standpoint of collecting, but collect for your nostalgia purposes. Like I said, I spent $8 to go and see this. This was years ago, because during those times, double features cost you money. And keep in mind, you still had to buy popcorn. So this is where I leave you with a nostalgia last overview. So guys, yeah, going to see this feature predominantly set me back a lot. And caused me to actually really had to walk home after all this. Even that was just the ultimate. When I had to walk home was just mind blowing, because I knew it was already late because it was a double feature, and I'm still figuring out to this day how long I was actually sleeping. So I had to actually figure out how long I was sleeping. So what happened was that there was a clock in the main foyer where the concession stand was, and I looked up at the clock, and it was 1:45 in the morning. This feature at the time was playing at 10:30. We were an hour and some minutes into this feature when I fell asleep. So that lets you know how long I was sleeping in the theaters. So guys, click that like button and subscribe if you like all the media that I've presented so far. Click that like button if you are supporting. And all this nostalgia means a lot to me, and it means a lot when I talk about it. It means a lot when I get into it. And 9 times out of 10, I'm really in the thick of it when I'm watching these features. And I have tons of stories to tell. This is the reason why I became a film director, because I decided to put my experiences into a feature presentation. Because I just had to put something on the screen. I'm not really rushing it because I want to take my time, because everything that I went through as a child with my working at a carnival, all these features, I wanted to have everything documented. So this is the reason why I had to turn out a featured film. So shout out to all my collectors. Shout out to all my new subscribers. And you guys, click that like button and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, watch all the rest of the content I already have up on my page here at PopCorn&GoreFlicks. If you're on Facebook, check me out at Terror from the Basement. And join my Channel 13 group and all of the other features that I do already have. So, see y'all guys at the drive-in. Keep collecting and keep inspiring and achieving your goals to having your collection. Peace. Till the next time.